And there's Pukerua Bay. The hole in the rock, the arch. Super. Robert and I had just finished walking the Paikakariki escarpment track, which finished at Pukerua Bay. Up high on the hill, we had glorious views of Pukerua Bay, so naturally we had to go and see it for ourselves, and were once again thrilled to see information boards about its history. So join us as we explore this pleasant little bay. Pukerua Bay is 30 kilometres north of Wellington and is Porirua City's northernmost suburb, and it's situated along State Highway 59 on the Kapiti coast. And Pukerua means two hills. Pukerua Bay is where film director Peter Jackson was brought up. But he was born in Wellington, and Jackson's first feature film, Bad Taste, was filmed here in Pukerua Bay. He then went on to direct the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies. We're at Pukerua Bay Beach. And look, there's the hill we just climbed, walked, the track of the escarpment. Oh, and I loved it. Pukerua Bay is a real little beach settlement, so naturally there are plenty of batches to be found here. One such fishing batch was built here back in 1910 by a local resident known as Nobby Clark. He was to pay the landowner £1 a year in rent. But when Nobby and two friends rescued a valuable ram with a broken leg, the farmer said that saving the ram was worth far more than any rent, so no rent was ever paid. Pukerua Bay attracted many writers and artists, giving them the inspiration they needed. And it was when New Zealand poet Sam Hunt was here in his university days that he decided to give up studying and focus on writing poetry. Headline news in 1962 of 3 women and 5 children standing their ground in front of a bulldozer that was to remove rocks for the reclamation of the Hutt motorway. And this became known as the Battle of the Rocks, even though it was a peaceful protest that saw the bulldozer driver helping the women build a fire to keep them all warm. The protest was a success, preventing the removal of the rocks. This story about George Stubbs we found interesting. He was an Australian seaman who drowned along with 4 of his crew in 1838 here at Pukerua Beach. Although his parents were both convicts, the Sydney newspaper wrote that Mr. Stubbs was a good specimen of our Australian seamen and was from as fine a family as ever was reared. But he was buried at the whaling station island of Motangarara, just off Kapiti Island. This 6-metre high carved pole was placed here in 2012, and it's of Tangaroa, the god of the sea. No little penguins coming in, but we have seen the the hole in the rock, the arch. Super. Let's go. This rough and rocky track is part of the Wairaka Walkway from here at Pukerua Bay to Plimerton, 10 kilometres south. We weren't going to walk another 10 k's on this day. We just came to see this hole in the rock. How neat! How neat! We're here! The arch! Sneed. She's cool as. Okay. Let's make our way back again.